So we got somebody else who's probably not at the crib. He is probably popping a ankle back in, doing brain surgery or something. My man, Dr. Donnie Fowler, the third orthopedic for OrthoAtlanta. What's going on, sir?
What's up, guys? How's it going?
All right.
Good, man. Excited about this tournament.
Oh yeah, this is probably my favorite 3 weeks of the year, especially being a Duke guy, as you guys well know. So hopefully it'll end well for us. We'll see.
So let's be honest. We're gonna ask you: were you sweating the first half?
Nah, I wasn't sweating. I mean, certainly got a bunch of freshmen first NCAA tournament game. I expected them to maybe be a little tight. Honestly, I think they kind of figured it out, looked pretty good the second half. Certainly were teams that made me even more nervous than they did. Looking at someone like UVA, who was down 6 at halftime to a 16 seed after being bounced last year, I figured they ended up losing 2 years in a row as a 1 seed to a 16. They should probably get the death penalty for their program and not be invited back to the tournament. But
you're right. Look, and I was gonna mess with you when Duke was trailing. I was gonna text you Virginia last year, just to score to Virginia. I was kidding.
Yeah, I probably would have retired at that point if Duke had lost. But
oh man! So look, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna stick with the college basketball and the March Madness. So Kentucky Wildcats for PJ Washington has been in a walking boots, and now he's in a cast. Like, wow. When in a cast, if he's wearing a cast now, what does that mean, and how much longer do you expect him to be out?
yeah, I mean that's a really big deal as far as going from a boot to a cast. I mean, a boot is somewhat standard for some of the milder stuff. It's something you can take off, so you can do ice and motion and treatment and all that kind of thing. So it's not uncommon with a little subtle type thing, even if it's minor, to get in a boot pretty quickly just to help with swelling and things like that. But when you go to a cast, which is obviously something you can't take off, there's usually a reason you're doing it, and it's because the injury is more severe. You don't want, in this case, the foot moving at all, and you're just completely shutting them down. So that, to me, even though they're just calling it a foot sprain, tells me it's probably a lot more serious, and I think Calipari has indicated that he's not going to play against Wofford, but I'm not sure if he'll be then, assuming that they win, which I think they will, if he'll be ready for next weekend for the Sweet 16.
Did you think they just misdiagnosed it or whatever? If I'm saying it correctly, like, was it a wrong?
Yeah, maybe, or maybe they didn't. I don't know if I'd say misdiagnosed, or maybe didn't know how severe it was until they kind of sent him to a specialist, because they initially had it worked up and put him in a boot, and then he went and saw a specialist, and then suddenly he was in a cast. So I think they probably just got more information that kind of they said, well, let's be a little more aggressive with shutting this down in hopes of, accelerating the process of letting the swelling go down, letting, I guess, whatever ligament he sprained try to heal up quicker so they can try to get him back by the end of the tournament.
Doc, the Milwaukee Bucks forward Nikola Mirotic is out with a sprained thumb. Now, does he have to be 100% to come back and play, and how long do you expect him to be out?
Yeah, he's definitely been a big part for that Milwaukee team. They're saying most things are quoting somewhere between 2 and 4 weeks. Some of the reports are kind of talking, like you said, the sprain. There's also, they're mentioning a small fracture. My guess is they're just talking about an avulsion type fracture where you kind of stretch out the ligament and it pulls out a little fleck of bone, not like a, break going all the way across the bone, anything more severe. So I'd probably put him in that 2 to 3 week range, but certainly I think they're going to make sure that he's healthy, and obviously I don't expect him back until the playoffs at this point for them. So,
will he make it? Will he make it in the beginning of the playoffs, or will he be like the second round?
I think he might be able to make it at the beginning of the playoffs. There are 8 or 9 games left in the season, so I think That's going to be right around that 2.5, 3 week mark when the playoffs actually start. So I think he will probably kind of be back somewhat in that first series. I don't know about Brogdon, the other guy that's been out too with his plantar fascia. They got a couple guys down, so obviously they need to be full strength.
So, because I was going to ask you, if not, would you expect him, or would you, I guess, encourage him to do like Ronnie Lott and cut off his thumb for the team? Like, cut off his pinky.
I don't think basketball players are as tough as football players. But yeah, that Ronnie Lott thing was crazy back in the day.
He cut that out. He gonna be off. He gonna be out longer than
just cut the thumb off like Ronnie Lott, like he did his pinky, and just let him, But so we know you into sports. We know you know sports. So just staying with this Milwaukee team, if he doesn't play, how do you think Milwaukee could get past the first round this time, or do you think that would be like how? Because he's a big factor. Like how big of a factor do you believe he is?
No, I think honestly they have enough talent with Giannis, of course, and everyone else that the 7 they're not going to fall lower than a 2 seed. I think Toronto's 3 games back, so even if they stumbled a little bit and get the 2 seed, the bottom 7-8 of the Eastern Conference is pretty underwhelming, under 500 ball clubs. So I think they won't have a problem in the first round, but certainly I think they'll need him for the second round, depending on how things shake up, depending on who's sitting there with Boston, Philadelphia, some of those teams. So I think they'll definitely need him by then. So.
All right. So me and Dee was talking, and excuse me. We talk about we all were talking. We're talking about the Duke, Zion Cam. First, how do you feel about that?
So I was somewhere where I wasn't able to watch it, so I've only kind of heard about it. They just had the regular feed on where I was at. I mean, I get it from a entertainment standpoint. There's a lot of people that just kind of want to kind of see Zion and watch how he moves because of how much he actually does, even without the ball, that people don't realize. So in a way, I think it's kind of a cool concept and fun. I think if it's the wrong kind of person who's not ready to handle that, it could be a problem. But I think Zion has been obviously his face out there in the media, social media, everything. He's bigger than pretty much anyone I think anyone can remember, at least at the college level in sports. I don't think it affects him or his psyche knowing that there's like a camera following him 24/7 while he's out there. So. All
right. So Dr. Fowler said he think it's cool. So what I'm gonna do is I wish we had like balloons or something because this is gonna be the first time. Man, you just first time it's gonna happen to you, Dr. Donnie. This is a great moment. Cherish this. Can we give him a stop it?
Stop it.
Doctor, you talking like a Dookie fan.
Duke, that's exactly.
Come on, man. You know that's a horrible idea to have a camera. We don't want to see him.
Hey, some of us just want to watch Zion. So.
But speaking of that, I asked that question because we were talking. I know this is like off the dome, like we haven't given you time, but we talked about the best college freshman basketball players, in their freshman year you've ever seen. Like not necessarily going by stats, but you watch with your own eyes. You say, man, is there a freshman, if you could think of someone that stuck out that you say was the best freshman you ever saw besides Zion, if it's Zion?
I mean, I think I'd probably go back to like Shaquille O'Neal time frame at LSU. I think, I mean, you can go to some of those guys at Michigan, obviously, but I almost think about them more collectively as a unit. I think Weber obviously stood out more than anyone, at least at the college level. But just thinking of like one person that the world hadn't really seen at that level, I'd probably go back to Shaq at LSU. So.
All right. Yeah, we mentioned him as well. All right. So there you have it. my friend, my man, Dr. Duke Blue Devil himself, Donnie Fowler the third. He's the orthopedic for OrthoAtlanta. Man, we appreciate you for coming on, man. Make sure you go back and save a life like you always do. And next week, same time. Can't wait.
All right, guys. See you next week, and have a great one.
No problem. Thank you. Dr. Fowler got his first stop it. He's in the family now. He's family. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
You got to stop it.
Have a sports injury? Need to see an orthopedic doctor? OrthoAtlanta is one of Metro Atlanta's largest orthopedic and sports medicine practices, providing orthopedic and sports medicine care for the whole family. With 37 physicians and 14 offices, the practice provides the highest level of care for injury of muscles, joints, bones, and spine. OrthoAtlanta offers convenient access to a full range of musculoskeletal surgeons and specialists. OrthoAtlanta also offers on-site physical therapy, pain management care, MRI imaging, and workers' compensation care. The OrthoAtlanta surgery centers in Austell and Fayetteville provide cost-effective, same-day surgical procedures in an accredited outpatient center. Hip, knee, shoulder, back pain? OrthoAtlanta has you covered with specialists in all areas. Same-day appointments, orthopedic care for the whole family. OrthoAtlanta, Atlanta's choice for orthopedic and sports medicine care. Learn more at www.orthoatlanta.com.